Commentator Laura Abley had a phenomenal post on her X feed that really gets to the heart of what President Trump is doing here with the arrest of Maduro, especially in terms of how it relates to international corruption. What she notes here is that while Democrats accuse Trump of imperial ambitions, right? He's a dictator. It's actually Trump who's the one that's unveiling and exposing the real mechanisms behind the real empire, which is the corrupt imperialism of globalism and globalist forces around the world. She notes that for years, nations like Venezuela weren't subdued by military force. Instead, these nations were drained via systematic tools like intricate debt traps from non-Western nations, along with billionaire-financed NGOs and supposedly philanthropic organizations, all of which work together ultimately to destabilize the United States. That's what all of these actors have in common. Nefarious figures like George Soros, his web of NGOs, along with Iran, China, Cuba, Venezuela. They all want two things. They want to destabilize the United States, and they saw funding the drug trade as key to that destabilization. Kills 300,000 Americans a year. And they wanted to exploit the energy resources of places like Venezuela for their own benefit. So Venezuela served a twofold strategic purpose for these so-called philanthropists and the hostile powers. It destabilized the United States, all the while it helped to enrich themselves. And the irony here is that that is not sovereignty. That is not Venezuelan sovereignty. That's managed poverty. It's geopolitical exploitation. And that's the distinction the legacy media won't make, because restoring sovereignty looks aggressive only to the people who benefited from its absence. Trump, in arresting Maduro and getting this former Venezuelan intelligence officer to sing and name names, he's the one who's actually restoring national sovereignty to a people who've been exploited by foreign powers for far too long. For Trump, this isn't regime change. This is restitution. It's the restoration of national sovereignty. So what just happened in Venezuela isn't imperialism. It's Trump interrupting a globalist imperial machinery that turns political thuggery into acquisition. So no, this isn't America expanding. It's about reclaiming what was stolen. It's about reestablishing sovereignty by exposing how wealth was siphoned, who bought what, and through which proxies. It's an attack on a corrupt network of power that goes all the way back to D.C., it appears, that only survives when nations remain weak enough to be quietly owned. Because once people realize their poverty was actually engineered, that it was not inevitable, sovereignty stops being theoretical. It becomes an imperative.